Howdy, 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 tankers, and welcome back to another video. Today, this is gonna be, I think, like the second video in my new playlist where I'm just trying to educate the World of Tanks community on how they can better themselves on this game, how to become a better player, what to be looking for, what to be doing, what to be thinking about. So this video isn't really necessarily focused on the gameplay, even though the gameplay in here is somewhat of what I'm going to be going over. I'm going to pretty much tell you guys what you should be doing. So in a typical game of World of Tanks, the first thing you want to do is take position. That is the number one thing you want to do. The person with the better position automatically has an advantage over the enemy team. So in this map, I always like to take this middle ridge. Not always, but most of the time in my mediums, I like to take the center ridge right here. From this position, you can shoot out into the middle where all those TDs that are camping out there on those ridge lines, and you also catch out any heavies or mediums or lights that are going to be foolishly crossing over a little bit too close, crossing out in that open, like this guy right here, this poor fool. Now, unlucky for me, I missed that third shot on him, but you get the gist of it. This position is really good because if there's no one spotting you, you can just sit up right here and just completely mow down anyone who tries to go across that open field. And if I was reloaded or not in an autoloader, I would have also been able to shoot that guy. The next thing I want to make a point is to be a better player is when your position no longer gives you any opportunities to shoot people, you need to move positions, you need to get out. Now obviously, I was able to dump a clip into that chieftain right there, but you'll see right here that I will not have anyone else to shoot at if I stay in this position. So the only logical thing to do would be to move positions and put my tank in a better useful position. So I can see that there's people to the north. I'm looking at my mini-map, and I know I'm just going to keep an eye on them. They are not overwhelming that side yet. They are not a threat yet. So for right now, I'm just going to keep moving to the right side of the map. The right side allows me to keep all these ridge lines in between me and the enemy and just snake my way up. So that's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to move up, and that's what you need to be doing in your medium tanks, is always be on the move. Not always, but I mean, if you see that you can be somewhere else or that you're not doing anything, you need to put yourself in a better position. And that's what you can do. If you have the mobility, you might as well do it. So as I move up into this position over here, I'm looking for a bunch of enemies. I just want to pause this moment right here. You do not want to shoot tanks that have uncontrollable or unpredictable movements. If they're jumping over rocks or falling over a cliff or something, just wait. Hold your fire until they get landed directly on the floor. Because when they're up and flying, it makes it a really hard shot to hit, and you're just wasting ammo at that point. You want to wait till they're on the floor, and then you want to let your shot out. And you'll see right here that I'm doing that same thing. I missed 2 shots because I didn't want to wait for this guy to be on solid floor. 2 of them go into his tracks or on his turret and bounce off weird angles because you can't predict that when he's in the middle of the air like that. Now, this isn't a big deal in this circumstance because this guy's about to get taken out no matter what, and I was about to reload, and if they didn't take him out, I was going to take his ass out. So, but nonetheless, I want you guys to be better tankers, and so you can learn from my mistakes. Now, I noticed that the north has been lost. We're about to lose the last tank over in the north that's defending that side, so we need to adjust accordingly. Now, before I go over there, I'm already working in my way. I'm going to keep this center ridge line that I've been working the entire game. I don't really want to take that shot. My aiming reticle was just so big, and it wasn't going to be worth dumping a clip or at least 2 shots and not having them for these next tanks that are going to be coming up here. So that's why I didn't take those shots, and that's something that you really have to take into account, is that if you dump those shots that are very, very, dicey, you might have been able to use those for another tank that would have been for sure hits. And if you took those shots, those dicey shots, and missed, well, then there's less damage you would have taken right there or gotten right there, and then there's less damage you would have put into another tank in the future. So I'm not saying be stingy with your shots, but be smart with your shots. So It is now officially just me and this tank destroyer to my left that are defending this north. And I don't need to take any unnecessary damage here from the E4. It's still a very close game. There's no point in me taking damage if I don't need to. So right now I'm going for that center, that front drive wheel. Sadly, it goes a little low into his tracks. There's no need for you to dump your entire clip into that guy and take a shot in return. Now I do take a shot from my right side, which tells me that there is somebody still over there, so I need to get out of this spot. This spot is null and void. Now I'm going to pause it right here again. There's a couple things that I can do. In my mind, I can go right, I can go left, or I can go straight. Why you would want to go straight? I have no idea. That's a completely wrong move to go. The tanks are shooting you from that direction, so you want to head in either the right or the left to make it the hardest possible shot for them. What I do is a little bit of both. I start heading right because I want to get over to where my teammates are. The teammates are on the right side of the map, and I want to get over there. And as I'm heading in that direction, I just feel like I'm driving way too long in a straight line. And when you're driving in a straight line, it makes it so easy for an enemy tank to hit you. So I pop a UE and head the opposite direction. Now, whether this be the right decision or not is besides the point. It works out for me in this instance, but it is very different for every single situation that you're in. So we're going to play the clip again right now, and we're going to see how this plays out for me. So here I am going to the right. I want to get over to my teammates, and I'm just like, oh god, I'm driving so straight, and I'm just going to pull a U-turn. Lucky for me, I'm just driving straight in the opposite direction even longer. This was probably not the right decision that I should have made. But now it would have put me in a better position to shoot this E4 that I thought was going to be sneaking up over here. He isn't there, so I'm going to back up this heavy tank right here. That guy has no shots on me. I don't got to worry about him. As of right now, I'm not going to hit that light tank, and I'm not going to be able to get much shots over here in this position. There are still people coming in from the north side, so I really want to get to low ground. These TDs that are all camped up on that ridgeline over there, if I stay in this position right here, I'm done for. And now, right here, I see 2 trees get knocked down. In my brain, there's someone crossing right there. There is someone crossing right there. I just don't hit them. And I waste 2 of my shots to try to hit them, which leaves me vulnerable right now. I could have dumped a full clip into this lurver. I have no ammo because I decided to go for a reload. Bad play by me. Luckily, we don't get punished for it. And that's all that matters right now. We want to get to the low ground right here. We think about going over into there, but we want to stay here and we want to back up that heavy tank that's in the middle of the map. We don't want to just leave him to die. They're going to go in there and they're going to attack that heavy tank like white on rice. They're going to absolutely maul his ass. So we want to be here to back him up and get as much damage in before he dies, which he inevitably will. Now, let's talk about trading. So, when you trade, it means that you are going to dump your clip into somebody else, or your shot, you're going to shoot somebody and they're going to shoot you back. Now, a good trade is when you do more damage to the other person than they do to you. That is a good trade. The bad trade is when they're going to do more damage to you than you're going to do to them. Now, obviously, you want to do good trades. If you're a Death Star and you're shooting at an STB-1, you're going to do 1,000 damage to them, and they're only going to do like 400 or something to you. That is a good trade. So now we're going to see what I do in this situation right here. So you see me starting to dump my clip into this guy right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I take a hit right there. I dealt a 1,200 roughly damage to that guy, and I only received about 300 damage to my tank. That is a good trade. I was willing to sit up there and take that damage in order to get that enemy down to the health that he's at right now. And right now is also a point that I want to highlight. If you look, I'm at an odd number of APCR rounds loaded into my gun. I only have 2. That is because that I fired 2 blind into that tree, blind firing, hoping to hit a target. So now it's really coming back to bite me. I'm expecting to dump a full clip into this heavy tank in front of me, and I'm only going to be dumping 2, which is going to hurt me in the long run. But we'll see how this works out right now. So you'll see right now, I've got 2 in my clip. 1, 2, click, click, click. And I'm like, why aren't I shooting? You dum-dum. You dumped your clip into a blind bush, okay? Now we're pausing it again. Like I said, this is a educational video for you guys. If you notice, I just went into a 1 versus a 6. So that means that I need to concentrate so dang hard and try so dang hard to try to pull this win off. Now there's going to be a lot of things that are going through my head at this point. The first thing is that I need to put distance in between me and where I was last spotted. I don't want to stay in the same spot, or else every single enemy tank is just going to converge on me, surround me, and destroy me. So the last tank destroyers were spotted over in E1. The heavies were spotted at an F6. So no matter what, I want to head away from this part of the map. If I stay in this area right here, I'm going to get surrounded and I'm going to get killed. So the reason why you want to put distance in between you and the enemies is to make it harder for your enemies to figure out where you're going and what you're doing. So you'll see right here, I get spotted once more. Now I want to make it look like I'm heading to the south of the map, okay? But as soon as I'm unspotted, I'm going to pull a U-turn. I'm going to head in the opposite direction. This is going to send all of the tanks, or more or less all of the tanks, in the wrong direction. See, now I'm unspotted. I pull a hard left. I'm going to head right back to my spawn. They're going to think that I'm heading down the 0 line, and then I'm going to try to go and cap. I am not trying to do that. What I am going to do is run into the border because I'm a fucking idiot. But after I'm done doing that, I'm going to start heading down beach and heading back to my base. I know for a fact if they can't catch a mobile medium, they're going to say screw it, and they're going to go back to my base and they're going to try to cap it out. So I want to defend my base. Now on the way to my base, I'm actually going to spot a glimpse of, I think, the tank destroyer. But he's not going to spot me, thank God, or else that would have been absolutely going to ruin my whole stealth move over here. And the fact that I haven't been spotted yet is a very good show that the enemy tanks have no idea where I'm at. They're probably heading down to their base right now to defend it or something, and I'm nowhere near that. The point of this is to spread their team out. You can't kill every single one of them if they're bunched up or in close proximity to each other. So once they're spread out, you're able to whittle them down one by one by one. And just like this, you'll see right now, boom, I'm spotted. I'm like, oh no, it's a one-shot tier 8. Boom, I'm going to take that shot. Even if I received a shot right there, it would have been worth it to get one tank off of the map. Now, I'm hard targeted right now, so I'm going to go in a straight line and then boom, I'm going to jag right. You don't want to drive in a straight line if you're targeted. Make it as hard as possible for the enemy tank to hit you. Now, I'm going to pause that again right here. I know this is very anticlimactic, but there's a good learning lesson right here. So as you saw, this tank destroyer was backing up very slowly. Now, when you're aiming in on a target, your aiming reticle is going to be pretty big. The more time you wait, the smaller it gets and the more accurate your gun gets. So you need to find a nice, easy medium between where your accuracy is good and you still have a good shot on the tank or on the enemy. So once you find that perfect shot, then you can boom, let it fire. I saw that if I waited any longer, I was not going to have any shots that were going to pen. So I waited as long as I could, and then I let my shot rip. Thank God accuracy was like, yeah, dude, I got you. And he took that guy out. Now, you always have to remember your last known position. I was just spotted right there, and I want to get away from that area. I don't want people to think that I'm in the same area. But sadly, when I'm trying to move positions, I get spotted by the lurver. My first shot missed. It would have, if I would have nailed that first shot, I would have not taken a hit right there, I think. But nonetheless, I did. So I'm going to keep heading this direction. I'm spotted right now, and now that I was heading in that direction, all of the enemies saw me moving last in that direction. Now that I'm unspotted, I'm going to pop a U-turn. I'm going to head back in the opposite direction. Even if there are a whole bunch of enemy tanks here waiting for me, at least I made it a little bit more tricky for them to figure out where I'm at. Now, we've already taken 3 enemy tanks out. We are making this game look more and more winnable as we progress through here. Now, the next position we're going to take up is the same position that we've already been taking this whole game. This position allows us to put view range up in front of us, to the right, and to the left, in all directions. Now, sadly, we spot this E4 right here, and we were not going to take a hit, and we were so focused on him that we did not notice this 705 that had snuck up on our right. And there was no way we could have known that that 268 was to the right of us. And sadly, we get taken out. But I want to use this time to just go through what I could have done. Obviously, if I would have known that 268 was over there and I knew that the 705 and the E4 were both closing into my position from straight ahead and to the right, I would have known the only other option for me is to take the beach. If I would have taken the beach, it would have prolonged the game a little bit longer and I could have made some different moves. Who knows what could have happened. Nonetheless, that was my only move. And there was no way for me to know that there was a 268 to my right and the E4 and the other guy closing in on me. They obviously knew my last known location and they were just going to close in my general direction. That just goes to show you how important it is to not be in the same area where you were last spotted. They knew where I last was spotted and they all converged on my location. Now obviously this was all what was going through my mind as I was playing the game. And when you're in the heat of battle, you don't think these things out fully through and as you should. So you're handed what you got and you got to roll with it. Now, hindsight's 2020. If I would have known all the stuff I would have known after the game, easy. I would have finished it by myself, got a call of Banov's medal, no problem. But that's not how it works off when you're in an actual game. So, luckily for the magic of editing, I'm able to stop certain aspects of the game, tell you what I was thinking, and tell you what I should have done. So I really hope that this was helpful for you guys. I know it was a lot to take in. This video was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but it's my first time doing this, and so it's going to be really rough. But nonetheless, there was some good takeaways from this video. I hope I was able to get those across the table to you guys. If not, let me know in the comments what I could have done better. I'm still working on this whole editing stuff. I don't have very good editing software and whatnot, but I'm giving you the best I can. Nonetheless, I'm going to unpause the video and you'll see the end result screen, and if this isn't a carry, I don't know what is. I was trying my hardest, but the enemies and my teammates were just both working against me. There was a lot of 0 damages on my team. We did the best we could. I hope this video helped everybody out. I know that it was a little rough around the edges, but nonetheless, I'm going to be making a lot more of these tutorial videos and these how-tos and these what-to-dos in order to help the new player base that has entered our game sort of figure out what the heck to do on this game, because Wargaming doesn't tell them jack shit. So it is up to us as a community to help these guys out. If they have a stupid question, answer it. Doesn't matter. It's stupid to us, but it's not stupid to them. So I'm going to end the video right here, you guys. If you liked what you saw and will react that like and subscribe button, show me some love. And if you want to be let know when I drop another video, hit that bell notification at the top right of your screen. And I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, peace out.